continuing our the momentum that we've created the last few weeks during the practice week. Kids have been working hard. They've been attacking the weight room hard. They've been in the film room studying, learning as much about our opponent as possible. So just really trying to carry that momentum over into a new week, while at the same time addressing some issues that could be setbacks that could cost us a game if we don't. And that's the 9 penalties that we had, the 100 yards of penalties. I think that's more than we had the previous 3 weeks going back to Snyder. You can't have that many penalties and that many penalty yards and expect to continue to advance. So the emphasis has been on making sure we're disciplined, working hard, and then obviously studying as much as we can, learn as much as we can about Bluffton.
Yeah, what have you learned about Bluffton? What are your biggest concerns against a team that is coming off winning its first sectional since 1988? I mean, this is the best team they've had in decades, really.
It's really impressive how they have grown from midpoint of the season. It's a team playing with a lot of confidence. They're physical, they're young, and they're good up front on both sides of the ball. They've got some hosses. They move people. You could just see on film they have a lot of energy, a lot of confidence about themselves, and that makes them a scary opponent, regardless of their experience at this level or not. For most of our kids, this is their first regional game. Our senior class was part of that 2020 run to state, so we like to think that we got maybe a bit of an edge there. But when you line up on a Friday night, none of that. You can throw all that to the wayside because you're going to have a bunch of teenagers playing each other on a Friday night, and both have the same goal in mind. That's to win a state title.
Where have you seen this team grow the most since week 1 that's allowed you to get to this point? Obviously, it's a long season, and you mentioned some of these guys have had that experience of going to state before, but where has the biggest area of growth been, and how has that manifested itself in you guys still being alive in the postseason?
I think a couple of things stand out. Our offense and defensive line play has gotten, it's night and day compared to where we were at early in the season. We like where we're at. We like to think that we're going to get better too. And then how the team has handled the ups and downs, how we've handled adversity. Early on, even the midpoint in the season, if a haymaker was thrown at us, there was a couple times we didn't really throw one back, didn't fight back. And to see us handle the adversity here in the playoffs, from Cherubusco, after we took a 7-0 lead, they went right down the field. They scored. To see the kids keep their heads up, see the defense come off the field, and like, hey, that's not going to happen again. And then, last week against a tough Eastside squad that, that played physical football and had some long, time-consuming drives. To see the kids keep their heads, stay confident, stay in support of each other, I think that's a huge difference from where we were at week 1.
Final question for me, what are you and what is this group most looking forward to about this coming Friday? I mean, it's going to be a big game. It's our highlight zone game of the week. Bluffton's going to bring a ton of people. I mean, they're jacked down there. So what are you most looking forward to about this Friday?
Just to see how these seniors handled guaranteed their last game on Luers Field. Winding back a couple decades, I remember that was always an emotional night. To see how we can overcome that emotion and keep our focus about us and make sure that we're focused on the task at hand and taking it snap by snap. That's crucial. And then just excited that the kids, coaches have another week together to compete with each other. Excited to see how the underclassmen support the seniors.
Okay, so in 2A football, you all know that most teams just have a run offense. So now we're just trying to cloud the box, flood the box for priority, stopping the run, and then stopping the pass. But we don't got to really worry about the pass.
When you take a look at Bluffton, I mean, what do you know about the Tigers so far? What are your biggest concerns against your opponent this coming Friday? Okay,
yeah, they're a decent team. We've been watching film. They're a decent team. Not the best we played, but we're not going to play like they're, not the best we played. We're going to play like this is our last game. And we're just going to go out playing like we've been playing everybody else with full heart, full energy, and try to go get that win.
When you get to 2A teams, having been tested in the SAC, how big of a benefit is that for you guys to come out and then, play against 2A teams, knowing that, God, you guys have tested yourself against 6A teams and 5A teams that are still alive here in the postseason.
Right. Okay, yeah, so playing the bigger teams, we get more of a spread offense look, and that spreads our defense out, and then they attack the run. So now we know what we have to work on. That helped us play in the better teams, play in the bigger schools like Snyder, Carroll, Homestead. That helps us learn what we need to work on in order to get further in the playoffs.
When you guys take a look at, you also play on the offensive side, you said as well.
Oh, yeah.
What are you guys doing well to put points on the board? You had 35 last week against a pretty solid East Side team that hadn't given up all that many points throughout the course of the season. So what are you doing well on that side that's allowed you to advance this far?
So we change up a lot of stuff each week, new audibles each week. 1 week we might focus on screens, next week we might focus on runs, next week after that we might focus on more pass. It just all depends on what the opponent's defense is showing us. And we just try to change everything up, not show, too much, but, still go out there, play with everything.
A final question for me, what are you most looking forward to about this Friday? It's going to be our highlight zone game of the week. Bluffton's coming off its first sectional in 34 years, so they're excited, man. They're going to bring the house here.
All right.
What are you most looking forward to about Friday?
I'm just looking for, the weather's dropping. It's really getting to that football weather now, that playoff weather, and show everybody what Luers football is about.
I give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They have gotten so much better throughout the year, and they're playing their best ball right now. They're knowing their assignments, they're being physical, and that's allowed us to open up the run game, which has allowed us to set up the pass, and just allows us to do so many other things. So just all credit to them. They've been fantastic through the first 3 games of the playoffs.
As you work on in practice this week, what are some of the things that the coaches have stressed or are stressing to get you prepared for what you're going to be presented with on Friday night when Bluffton comes to town?
Just to be focused, just do what we've done through the first 3 games. Have a good practice, be focused, be physical, and we should be good on Friday.
For you guys, it's a sectional championship. I know Luers has a lot of trophies in the trophy case, but for you guys, especially as a senior, right, to win a sectional championship and be playing for the regionals, what does it mean to still have your season, still going and kind of bringing that pride level back to Bishop Luers football?
Yeah, it means a lot, especially to beat Eastside the way we did, especially after what happened last year, to beat them on their home field for a sectional championship. And then just to continue the tradition, we have a lot of championships in this program. Just to continue that tradition as a senior is awesome.
When you take a look at Bluffton's defense, what are your concerns there, and what do you guys have to execute and do well offensively to put up the type of points that you want to on Friday?
Yeah, they're very physical at the line of scrimmage. They've got some big dudes at the line of scrimmage. Our thing is we just gotta, wear them out throughout the game and just play our ball.
For you, where have you seen the offense evolve or improve the most since day 1 of this season? Where have you guys really taken the biggest strides offensively to make you a more dangerous team now than we saw back in August?
Definitely the run game. When we're able to run the ball, we're a really dangerous offense. And we've seen that through the first 3 weeks of the playoffs. We've been able to run the ball, which has helped set up the pass and, allowed us to get the ball to our playmakers in space.
Final question for me, what are you most looking forward to about this Friday? I mean, it's Bluffton's first sectional since 1988, so they're excited down there. They're going to bring the house. I mean, it's going to be our highlight zone game of the week. It's 2 local teams battling. What are you most looking forward to about this Friday? I think Coach mentioned for you seniors, it's the last time you guys are going to be playing here at Luers Field as well.
Yeah, just the atmosphere, all the fans coming out and supporting us, all the alumni. Yeah, this being our last home game for all the seniors, it's really special, and I'm just really excited for it.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Go Knights!